Hello, welcome to Zentangle Explore, where we will draw really slowly. And I am so excited that you are all here with me today. And all you need is a pen. I've got the 01 Micron, but you can use whatever it is that you have, and some little tiny pieces of paper, and just your attention and your breath. That's all you need. All right, so we're going to go into a meditation, a little bit of a longer meditation to just bring ourselves and center ourselves, and then we will start drawing. So if you'd like, you can close your eyes, get nice and comfortable in your seat, make any adjustments that you need. And I'm going to close my eyes. If there are any sounds in your environment, or sounds in my environment that you're hearing, just allow them to be there. I'd say thank you, ears. And tune into your breath. Just notice where your breath is. You're on an inhale. Perhaps there's a stop at the top. Perhaps you're on an exhale. Stop at the bottom. And just follow that cycle, your breath cycle, with your attention. If there are any thoughts that come in about that cycle, about something else, just let them float away on your breath. Thoughts come and go and come and go and come and go. It's up to us whether we attach to them and follow them down the path, or if we just sit and watch them and wave. Hello, thought. Goodbye, thought. Hello, thought. Goodbye, thought. So glad you could join me for this moment. Enjoy your trip wherever you're going. I'm going to stay right here with my breath. And perhaps with your imagination, you can imagine following that breath. Maybe you're following it from your lungs up through your throat into your nose, and then back down into your lungs. Perhaps you could expand that cycle if it feels comfortable. Up into your head, down into your belly. Perhaps expand it even further as it flows from your belly, up through your chest, up through your head, above your head, outside of your body, and then circle down through your body, through your head, through your chest, through your belly, down to your knees, up from your knees, through your belly, through your chest, through the top of your head, up to the ceiling. down from the ceiling, through your head. Through your chest, through your belly, down to your feet, perhaps outside your feet, through the floor into the basement. Just keep following your breath and expanding it with every round. A little bit further outside of your body, into the heavens, into the earth. Just allowing whatever sensations you may be noticing, allowing any sounds in your environment or mind to just be background noise and a way to tune in deeper to your interior experience of breathing. Just using this meditation as a practice to allow whatever is happening to happen. Whatever thoughts about what might be happening to just float away, knowing that they're impermanent and it's not necessary for you to attach to them. Continuing to follow your breath with your imagination, with your body, with your sensation. Knowing that it's here for you 24/7, no matter what is happening in your feelings or your thoughts in your world, to the people around you, you have your breath with you always, from the minute you're born until the minute you pass on to another experience. Our breath is with us always, reminding us that we can always come back to this present now moment and center ourselves by focusing on its beautiful cycle, expanding that cycle, expanding our awareness into something more. And if you feel ready, perhaps deepen that breath. Bring your awareness back into your body fully in this space you're creating on your own, this space we're creating together. Continue to keep an awareness in the back of your mind of your breath cycle. As you begin to feel sensation, perhaps in your limbs, your fingers, your toes, your knees, your elbows, your shoulders, your nose, whatever part of your body is calling to you and saying, hello, I'm over here. Send me some love. And perhaps sending a bit of gratitude to your breath for being available at any time to ground and center you, and to keep your heart beating, and your blood pumping, and allowing you to be who you are in the world always. When you're ready, you can come fully back to this present moment and open your eyes. Okay, I'm going to switch my camera and we will start to draw. All right, so those who have been following along the last couple of weeks, we've been playing with drawing these little shapes behind. And so this is a tangle that is, I don't actually know who created it, but it's another expansion of that concept of drawing behind. And if this is your first time drawing behind or drawing this type of a pattern, no worries. All you need is your pen and you will do just fine. Pen and a line, pen and a line. So we're going to start off with a line, and I'm going to, maybe I will do mine across. You can put your line anywhere. It can go across a corner. It can go through the middle. It can go down on the edge, wherever you want to do it. But we're just taking our pen and drawing a very slow line. The only thing in this class that's really encouraged strongly is to draw slowly. As slow as possible. And you can see my line isn't straight across. It does not matter. Whatever your line is doing is absolutely perfect. And I mean that sincerely. It does not matter for this pattern. And then on this line, I might turn my page this way just for fun. You can have it any way you like, but I'm going to draw another line. Imagine you're drawing a blade of grass or just a little shape. And we're just going to connect it back to this line. The line goes up and the line comes down. Nice little Utah in the top. Doesn't matter what this line or this shape looks like. I'm going to draw another one. I'm going to start to the left of this one just because this is where this is oriented. And I'm going to draw up to this shape. I'm going to stop because this is an object. I'm going to imagine that line going through and continue on the other side. I'm going to come up, although it doesn't really matter too much. I'm going to come up at the top, my little U-turn, and come back down. Stopping when I get to my object. Continuing my line very slowly on the other side till I get back to my line. Know that there's learning that can happen in this process. Allow it to happen. If your lines get besquiggled, it's okay. Just allow it to happen. Let's start another one here. Perhaps I'll add a little curve on this one. You turn around. Get back to my shape. And draw it through to the other side. And before we get too far along, I'm going to start the other side. So you can choose how you want to continue drawing this. Because you don't have to start on this line. You could start on the other side. You can see that we have another side over here that does this. So we're going to start on the other side here. I'm just going to imagine where this would come out. I want to have some space. So imagine your space and then just kind of draw with your mind. I'm not drawing with a pen, but just using my pen as a guide to say, where might this end up? I think maybe here. I'm just going to put a little line there and then start my shape. If you want your shape to go off the page, it can. If you want to close it before it does that, you can. And you can imagine with your eye the same little strand of fiber or yarn or hair or grass flowing down into this next one underneath, just with that space in between. Imagine it continuing behind where you can't see it and then coming out. And then on the bottom of this, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger for you. I'm just gonna draw a little space around that. Just a little circle, little partial circle, and then fill it in black. And then I'll imagine, and these may not all of the ones that are on top may not all have a hole in the bottom, or they might, and that's going to be up to you. So this one seems like it could also come out of this hole. If I wanted it to come out of this same hole, I could draw it behind. We're using our imaginations, and so our imaginations can say all kinds of things that can say whatever they want. So if I want to make sure I have the same number, I could do that. And then this one coming down here, I can come down and just imagine where that's going to be. Just put a little mark for myself. Slowly draw that new strand. A little U-turn. And then bring it around, a little half circle. And fill it in black. And so now you can decide whether you want to start with these little untethered strands down here, or if you want to continue up here, if you want to draw one up here and then do its partner down here. So I'll do that. Nice, slow, frond, blowing in the wind, whatever size or shape you want it to be, whatever end point you want it to have. Now imagine where it comes down. Perhaps I'll take this one off the page. Put my little circle at the bottom. And continue on. And when we're all done, when you're all done with these, we're going to draw a line that just stops behind each one of these and goes across. And you can see that line right here. But that's the very, very last step. Very, very last step. So you can continue on drawing in whichever way is working best for you. Just overlapping these pieces of yarn, or whatever it is in your imagination you're drawing. And if there's a thought in your mind that says, well, what if I did this? Whatever this is, you can try it out. Give yourself the freedom to explore. Very slowly. So safely on this piece of paper. knowing that whatever you're creating is absolutely perfect. It's not supposed to look like mine or anybody else's. It's supposed to look like yours. I notice that my little line at the bottom here isn't lining up straight. They're kind of coming from all over. I'm just allowing that to happen. It doesn't need to be straight. It's going to look very interesting because it isn't. Interesting is good. Different is good. Nice and slowly. So slowly. Breathing out each line. Holding your hand gently with a pen. Creating whatever it is you want to create in this moment, really slowly. And I suppose the question may come up, do these fronds or pieces of yarn have to overlap? The answer is no, they don't. It adds depth and dimension and layering, which is very interesting in a two-dimensional piece. But nothing has to happen. We wanted to practice just aligning them from one side to the other without the complication of drawing behind. You can do that. Explore, experiment, discover new things. Just ink on paper. Rolling slowly. And if you turn your page over, you may discover that you find it easier to draw these upside down. There is no upside down or right side up in Zentangle, so you don't have to worry about it being the wrong direction. There is no wrong direction. There's only the direction that is easiest and works best for you, and that differs person to person. Allow your choice to be exactly right for you without judgment or comment about what that means. And so now I'm going to draw through my line on the other side, just stopping when I get to one of these shapes. Doing it nice and slowly. There's a little wiggle in my line, just let that be. Allowing any learning that wants to happen, releasing any resistance to the process. Knowing that you're doing it just perfectly. And if you finish one, start another. It's up to you now. You know all the elements. It's up to you how you start it, where you start it, what shapes you use. Maybe you'll add a new element that I have not shown you. Allow your imagination to run free and give your pen permission to create whatever your imagination is calling you to create. Give yourself permission to explore really slowly, so safely, knowing that nothing bad could possibly happen by following that inspiration. You're creating something that's never been created before, will never be created again because your hand is doing it. I often find that the most interesting things that I create are things that I never intended to create in the first place. They just happened. And allow those things to happen and make beautiful new discoveries. When I decide that what has happened is not good enough because it's not what I intended, then I give up on my own inspiration. And I miss out on opportunities to create new things from the unexpected. And I judge things as not good enough because it's not what has happened before that somebody else has created. And I give up on the opportunity to create something new that's never been created before when I create it. In my own life, I'm working on the process of allowing. And this is a really great way to allow new things to happen. It's very, very simple drawing practice. And the idea is that you continue to explore this pattern, or the idea of this pattern throughout the week, perhaps in little 10-minute increments, perhaps more. You find it relaxing. And create as many different iterations of this as you can possibly imagine. And see where that time and space and allowing and imagination can take you, with the goal of surprising and delighting yourself in the process, regardless of what shows up for what is created and comes onto the page. Honoring it because it came to the page. Allowing it to be whatever it is. Thanking it for teaching you something new and unexpected. And remembering each time you finish one of these, put that little line at the bottom, or not. You decide that that little line is not working for you, you can leave it off. Giving those what if statements time to breathe and grow by following them and honoring them. Telling that brain when it says, well, that would be silly. That wouldn't look good. That won't work. Just pipe down, take a back seat, grab some popcorn and watch and see what happens. Both of those voices. Voice to discover and explore, and the voice that says, no, something bad will happen, don't do it. We get to choose. And sometimes it's scary to do new things, follow the voice of the unknown, the uncertain path. It's always way more fun. And we learn so much more when we just allow. Just drawing so slowly. Simple little lines. When I started this overlapping process, I thought, no, I love it the way it is. Don't ruin it. And I thought, well, you can't ruin it. Not possible. Maybe just make it better. Wow, what's unfolding to unfold. Slowly. Right. Time goes so fast.